Love in the Sky, Chapter 1. The Rain in Tokyo. The rain in Tokyo sounds different from the rain at home. Softer, more deliberate, as though each drop knows exactly where to land without disturbing the city beneath it. It slides down the hotel window in long, gray streaks, melting into each other until the glass feels less like a barrier and more like a canvas. I've been here so long that I've memorized their patterns. Two streaks always find each other in the corner before vanishing into the sill like a secret handshake I wasn't meant to notice. I should be asleep. The red digits on the nightstand keep reminding me of the time, as if repeating it might make it matter. But sleep hasn't wanted me in days. Jamie's side of the bed remains perfect and untouched, as though someone ironed it after housekeeping already did. He told me not to wait up. He always tells me that, and I always pretend I'm not, even when I am. He's been close for months now. Close to a deal, close to a launch, close to the moment when everything finally changes. But close is a place you can move into without realizing you've signed a lease. My thumb rubs absently along the latch of the window as I stare at the traffic below. Red lights smear across the wet pavement. A few umbrellas bloom at the crosswalk like careful flowers against the storm. Tokyo is beautiful even when you're lonely in it. Maybe especially then. My stomach grumbles, sharp and unsympathetic. The minibar's been broken for a while now. Some error with the lock, or the sensor, or the world. Room service is an option, but ordering food at 1 a.m. feels obscene when the man I love won't even be here to steal my fries. What I want isn't food anyway. It's the ritual. Small bottle, the twist of a cap, the measured burn that wipes a thin layer of thought clean. I tug on my black joggers and an oversized hoodie, knot my hair into a messy bun, and clip it in place. My phone glows when I check it out of habit. Nothing but the hour. I flip it face down on the nightstand like it misbehaved, then step into the hall, the door closing behind me with a polite click. The hallway smells faintly of carpet cleaner, the air heavy with the dampness people have carried in. The elevator hums somewhere behind its doors. When I press the button, it answers with a chime so soft, it sounds almost shy. In the gold trim, I catch a warped version of myself. Tired eyes, dulled to gray blue. Dark circles etched permanent. A mouth that always looked like it was about to say something, but changed its mind. The lobby feels like another world. Piano notes drifting faintly through the air, citrus laced into the conditioning, the kind of hush that makes every sound matter more than it should. The staff move with the quiet grace of people who know how to disappear. At the desk, a young man in a navy vest brightens when he sees me, as if my small problem has given him something to care about at this hour. Konbanwa, he says, warm and formal. Good evening, I answer. I think my minibar hates me. His mouth quirks. Hates you? It refuses to open. I pleaded, I bargained. I almost tried picking the lock. Nothing. I hand him my key card. He chuckles, then taps at his keyboard like it's a matter of grave importance. The sensor registered a fault. I can send someone to reset it, or his voice dips, conspirational. You might try the bar. We also have a night menu. I was hoping to avoid performing sadness in public, I admit, then soften it with a smile. But maybe a Coke or something close enough to one. We have both, he says, gesturing towards the bar. Please, make yourself comfortable. I'll see to the minibar. Thank you, I say, and I mean it more than he knows. Because sometimes what you need most is for someone to treat your small problems like they matter. I grab my key card and turn around before walking to the bar. My eyes gaze upon a man standing behind me, shaking the rain from his jacket. The lobby lights linger on him as though the night itself wanted to introduce us. He isn't beautiful in a polished way. It's something rougher and quieter. A face you notice for the way it takes in a room. He carries a duffel and the kind of wariness I recognize because I wear it too. The clerk perks up. Welcome. Checking in? Yeah, the man answers softly, like he doesn't want to wake anyone. Reservation under Tesfaye? I shouldn't look again, but I do. Something stirs inside me, a small curiosity shifting in its sleep. He looks like someone who knows how to keep company with 3 a.m., not fight it. He leans on the desk while his card runs. The clerk apologizes for the weather. I like the rain, he replies. It minds its business. It's such a simple line, but it makes me want to laugh. Instead, I slip into the shadows of a potted plant and take the far stool at the bar. The bartender places a coaster in front of me like he's setting a stage. What can I get you? Coke, and maybe a grilled cheese sandwich? You know, the one that doesn't try to be anything else. He smiles faintly. Of course, coming right up. I'll pay extra if you don't elevate it. I grin. Understood. He leaves me with the hiss of carbonation and the quiet clink of ice. Back at the desk, the mesmerizing stranger bows as he accepts his key card, instinctively mirroring the clerk's gesture. Then his eyes flick, landing on me. No violins, no cinematic pull across the room. Just two strangers awake when the rest of the world isn't. He doesn't approach me right away. He leaves me the dignity of staying alone if that's what I want. The restraint feels like its own kind of kindness. A few minutes later, I hear him behind me. Minibar emergency? I turn, startled. He stands there, luggage still in hand, his smile curved with quiet amusement. You heard that? Just the important part, he says. You negotiating with a refrigerator like it owed you money. I shrug. We have history. His eyes drop to my glass. And how's the rebound relationship? Carbonated and predictable. Predictable's underrated at 1 a.m., he says. I'll allow it. I reply, glancing at his duffel. You just got in? Yep. He pauses, then introduces himself. Abel. Diana. Nice to meet you. Been staying here long? He asks. It's been about 3 weeks. Well, my boyfriend is here on business and I'm working remotely, I explain. I don't know why though. I'm usually more closed off when interacting with strangers. Oh, and he's not suffering from insomnia, huh? He made a little joke. He's been working a whole lot lately. I rarely get to see him. The city's my date now. Abel leans against the bar, leaving me space again. It makes me want to offer him some. Well, Tokyo is beautiful. I might follow your footsteps. He grins, looking right into my eyes. We stare at each other in silence until the bartender brings my grilled cheese, cut diagonally into triangles. I break off a piece, offering it to him. He hesitates just long enough to be polite before taking it. So, he says, neutral. Your boyfriend, the kind who keeps hours you can't see. The kind who keeps all of them, I admit. He's not a villain. He's just not here. Sometimes that's the whole thing, Abel says softly. I nod, eyes fixed on my Coke. You're not wearing a ring. He looks at his hand like it surprised him. I forget sometimes. That it isn't there? That it was. He corrects, then shakes his head. I tried once, a long time ago. Too young, wrong script. It just didn't fit, no matter how hard I worked for it. I let the words hang. He hasn't invited questions, just drawn the outline of something. I'm sorry, I say, because it's all that fits. Me too, he says, and then gently changes the subject. What's your favorite sound here? Here as in Tokyo or here as in the hotel? Dealer's choice? The vending machine, I say without hesitation. There's one upstairs that sings when it takes your coins. It's this tiny melody like it's proud of you. He smiles, delighted. You're serious? Completely. Show me. I glance at the clock. You want to go listen to a vending machine at 1:30 in the morning? I want to confirm your findings, he says, straight-faced. If they replicate, it's real. The cautious version of me clears her throat, warning me against teaching strangers the geography of my night. But I'm so tired of being careful in ways that make me invisible. Okay, I say. One song. We walk up the staircase to our right to get to the mezzanine. A ficus stands in the corner, half asleep, and the vending machine glows against the far wall, steady as an altar. I dig in my pocket for coins. Prepared to be underwhelmed. He stands close enough that I feel the warmth of him without being touched. I feed the machine. 4 notes chime, bright, cheerful, like encouragement. Abel's eyebrows lift. It is proud of you. I told you, I say, and the knot in my chest loosens. The can rattles down the tray. He leans forward. May I? I'm not sharing the coffee, I warn. I meant the melody. He slides his coin in and grins, looking at me like we've shared a secret. For a moment, we just stand there, the machine glowing behind us, the hotel mezzanine wrapped in silence. He smiles, and it's a softer thing than I expected, curving at the edges as though he isn't used to showing it but can't stop himself now. We're both standing too close to the stairwell that overlooks the lobby, so the silence isn't empty. It carries the hum of elevators, and the faintest shuffle of footsteps far below. You really don't sleep? He asks after a while. Not lately. What do you do instead? I shrug. Watch raindrops race each other down the glass, pretend I'm working. Sometimes I write things I'll delete in the morning. He tilts his head, curious. You're a writer? An editor, which is kind of like being a writer, except I get paid to erase instead of invent. That's still writing, he says, voice firm like it's a fact. I laugh softly. Arguing with commas until my eyes bleed? Sounds like art. He leans against the wall, one arm folded across his chest. I make music. Well, I try. I don't ask what kind because somehow I already know. It fits him the way sound would. Instead, I ask, does it help with insomnia? Sometimes. Sometimes it makes it worse. You start chasing a sound that doesn't want to be caught. He glances at me, eyes steady. You know that feeling? Every day, I admit. Some sentences don't want to live, no matter how you fight them. The conversation settles over us like a blanket, light but warm. I realize we're not just making small talk. We're offering each other pieces, testing what the other will do with them. He looks out towards the glass where Tokyo glows, blurred by rain. You ever feel like the city is watching you? Like it knows something about you that you don't? I follow his gaze. The lights smear across wet streets, headlights breaking into fragments. Every time I leave the hotel, feels like the whole place has seen through me already. Maybe it has, he says softly. The words make my chest tighten. I think of Jamie, of how invisible I felt beside him, and how different this is. This stranger looking at me like I'm not invisible at all. I try to breathe past it. You don't strike me as the type to hide from a city. You'd be surprised, he says again, but this time there's something heavier under it. We fall quiet. Not awkward quiet, but the kind where silence itself is an answer. I'm aware of his shoulder near mine, the faint scent of rain clinging to his clothes. If I lean just slightly, we touch. I don't. Neither does he. Instead, he says, what do you miss most, being away from home? The question is simple, but it slips under my ribs. The grocery store, I admit. Knowing where everything is without thinking, I could find peanut butter in the dark. That makes him smile again. Predictable. Exactly. He thinks for a beat, then says, I miss my friends. They don't ask me what I do. I suppose they already know. They just ask if I eaten, if I'm sleeping. I swallow. Are you? He looks at me for a long moment before answering. Not really. The honesty is so plain, it feels like a hand pressed to my chest. I want to tell him that I'm not either. That most nights I feel like I'm dissolving in my own life, but I only nod. Ever get tired of your own thoughts? I ask. Constantly. What do you do then? I borrow someone else's. He lifts his eyes to mine. Songs, books, conversations. His voice dips lower. If you're lucky, you find someone whose thoughts light up rooms you didn't know you had. The air between us shifts. It's heavier now, charged. I can't look away from him. Lucky, I repeat quietly. We stand there like that, two strangers sharing truths that feel more dangerous than secrets. Finally, he glances at the coffee can in my hand. You're going to be awake until sunrise. I was going to be anyway. His mouth curves just slightly. Insomnia Club, then. Membership 2. The elevator hums back to life at the end of the hall, doors sliding open. Neither of us move right away. Come on, he says eventually, nodding toward it. We ride in silence, numbers ticking past. I can feel the edges of him beside me, the restraint in his stillness. When the doors open on 20, I step out, forcing myself to move. Thanks for confirming the data, I say, trying for lightness. It was solid research, he answers. His eyes stay on me a moment longer than necessary. Good night, Diana. Good night, Abel. The door slides shut between us, but I carry the weight of his presence back down the hall. Inside my room, the minibar gives a smug little beep when it finally unlocks. I don't touch it. I don't need to. I already know I won't sleep. Not because of insomnia, but because for the first time in months, my thoughts don't feel entirely like my own anymore. Morning comes gray and thin. I answer emails, edit words I don't believe in, avoid the bed that feels like an accusation. At 11, Jamie texts. Late start, don't wait for me. Dinner tonight? I type, erase, type again. Okay, what time? A thumbs up emoji is the only answer, so I don't reply. What would I even write? I shower long enough to drown out my thoughts. Not thinking too hard, I grab a shorter, long-sleeved black dress, my Vans sneakers, and decide to put on some eyeliner. Those are some of the habits that keep me stitched together. Coffee, eyeliner, showing up. I wander around without destination. Tokyo smells clean after rain, metallic and green. A record shop window brags of rare presses, and I linger, but I don't go in. I want to save the wanting. A six-stool cafe serves me something I can pronounce, and I eat while watching strangers, inventing stories for them. It's the most human I've felt in weeks. When I return, the lobby smells of fresh-cut flowers. The elevator doors open again, and in steps Abel, balancing a paper bag and a coffee tray. His surprise when he sees me feels genuine, like the day just tilted in our favor. Hey, he says, grin soft. Hey, I answer, hating how bright my voice sounds. He presses 22, I press 20. Numbers give us an alibi. Breakfast? I ask, nodding at the bag. Research, he says. Comparing onigiri from different stores for science. Important work, Someone's got to do it. He lifts the tray. And caffeine. The building might collapse without it. You're saving lives, I tease. He studies my dress with a glance that feels respectful, not invasive. You went out. I did. How was it? Wet and honest. The best kind, he says. Rain doesn't let you lie to yourself. The doors open on 20. I hesitate. Then, if your study needs a second opinion, he holds out a coffee like he'd been hoping I'd ask. We sit cross-legged in the hallway, back against the wall, the carpet smelling faintly of cleaner and someone else's breakfast. He hands me salmon onigiri. You like living out of a suitcase? I ask. I like not knowing where the good coffee is, then finding it, he says. Those first day in a city, before it decides who you are, that's the sweet spot. You forget about everything else. I know that one. He wipes a drop of coffee from the lid with his thumb. You ever think about leaving? All the time, but then I think how leaving feels like losing and staying feels like signing something I didn't read. He laughs softly. You talk like an editor. Is that an insult? No, it's precise. He looks at me steadily. Does he know that I'm unhappy? He knows the bullet points. He doesn't read the paragraphs. Silence stretches, but not the uncomfortable kind. We share coffee and rice triangles like kids skipping class. It feels stolen, and I don't care. Eventually, he stands up, brushing off his jeans. I have demos to listen to, at least pretend to be useful. If you need help breaking into more appliances, I'm around. I'll keep you on speed dial, I say. He salutes with his coffee. See you tonight, 1 a.m., Insomnia Club. I should say maybe, or I'll be asleep, or I'm trying to be good. I don't. Okay, I say. One song. The second night tastes different. The anticipation sharpens it. The bar is quieter. 2 men murmuring business secrets. A woman guarding her book like a fortress. And the bartender polishing a glass with devotion. Abel leans on the bar, hoodie pulled up, posture that says I belong everywhere and nowhere. He looks up at me exactly when I expect him to. Grin tipping more relief than charm. You made it, he says. I had data to collect, I answer. 2 Cokes. He orders like we're toasting something sacred. We talk about nothing and everything. Automatic doors that open too late, triangle sandwiches, umbrellas as tiny boats. Slowly, it sinks deeper. What we miss, what we fear, the way thoughts can trap you until someone else's words free them. I want to tell him everything. That I once believed love was a thing you could build with enough patience. That I've been disappearing piece by piece. The bartender leaves us a bowl of peanuts like a quiet blessing. Abel watches me patiently. Tomorrow, he says, I have an errand near a record shop, if you're around. Every reason to say no crowds my throat. Boyfriend, loyalty, fear. but the one reason to say yes is louder. I'm around, I say. When I leave, it's because I know myself. I know what happens if I stay. He stands up when I do and offers me a quiet, "Good night, Diana." Back in the elevator, the mirrored walls throw me at myself from 4 angles. I look steady, but on the inside, I'm reeling. Afterwards, in bed, I don't cry. Even that would feel like pretending the night was bigger than it actually was. But when sleep comes, it falls fast, like an elevator stopping exactly on my floor. Outside, the rain continues its quiet conversation with the city. Inside, I begin to understand the scariest thing: how a life can change, not with explosions, but with the fragile danger of one conversation at a time.